Greetings, fellow citizens of Disneyland. Brickey here. Today's adventure? Let's take a step off the ledge, let's calm down, and let's break down what we do and don't know about Disney's California Adventure hosting a food fest some point in March. I feel like this announcement that really all we know is that Ken Potrock, or aka Kenny P. Rocks, made an announcement to union food and beverage workers for the Disneyland Resort, and that has gotten spun completely out of control. So let's break down what we do know, what we don't know, with a little bit of informed speculation. What we do know, the event is expected to take place in mid-March, roughly a month and a half from now. But what we don't know is the exact date. Speculation says look for Thursday, March 11th or Friday the 12th. To be the launch for this event. There was all signs back in November that something like this was getting ready to happen, but as you know, December 7th, food and beverage was restricted at the Disneyland Resort due to California safety protocols. So this is something that they had been working on for a while. I've been out the park every week since Buena Vista Street reopened, and I have seen a buildup of suits walking around plotting and planning. JD was at the resort yesterday. Good things are definitely on the horizon. So this announcement coming out didn't shock many of us. We were anticipating this, but the main reason why I picked this date is that does settle in the middle of March. The Disneyland Resort loves to launch things open to the public on Thursdays or Fridays. This date does give them a little over a month to prepare on something that I believe they've probably been plotting and planning the infrastructure on a while. They probably have their plan pretty well rounded out. I mean, they've had a long time to figure that part of it out, but now is the time to actually call the troops, bring them back, do the dress rehearsals, and get everything to go. I would also say to expect for legacy pass holders to get an advance invitation to this event. That is something that they have already done with the WandaVision photo op, with the return of the Star Wars Trading Post and the new home at the Rainforest Cafe. And I can't expect that they wouldn't still do this now while they're trying to make goodwill with the legacy annual pass holders. And by the way, if you want to know how to get the inside scoop on all of these legacy annual pass holder events, make sure you follow at Disneyland AP over on Twitter, turn the notifications on, and it's basically like Kenny P. Rocks is texting you when you need to know when it's time to book that next event. And it's what I did today to get my reservations to the Star Wars Trading Post opening next Tuesday. Yes, video to follow. So my prediction, if it's not March the 11th and 12th, then look for that next week to be the date that this launches, but those should be the dates that you should be circling in your calendar if you need to do this right away. But I also believe that this will run for quite a while and be one of the hottest tickets in town. What we do know is this will not be an exact copy of the familiar Food and Wine Festival. What we know, according to Kenny P. Rocks, we will debut an all new. So this is something that is completely different from what they've done before. What we don't know is the name of the event or what exactly every detail that is new about it. But speculation says that they are going to go with the current times. They're going to adopt this rare moment in history to create an event based around these current times, create an event around all the safety protocols and restrictions, instead of trying to crowbar the familiar into these very unfamiliar times, focusing on creating a positive, all new event, something like we haven't seen before. Because if you think about it, this is actually a very great moment for this event to take place, because never before has a food and beverage festival had the full attention of the park. Hopefully, they will take full advantage of no attractions, distractions, and create a comfortable festival with plenty of space, a place where you can actually sit down and eat instead of hovering over a garbage can, plenty of entertainment, probably in the form of bands, DJs, and different music sources. Definitely will not see a parade. But all things considered, this could end up being quite a magical moment for food and beverage. It could end up being a really great event because this is the only thing that will be happening, giving them the entire footprint, all the amenities of the park to make this event as comfortable and as safe as possible. And all things considered, this could end up being the best food festival of all time because food has been the MVP and the all-star of the Disneyland Resort. Take it from somebody who went there every week when food and beverage got removed. Those were depressing days to say the least. I mean, take it from somebody who's packed on the COVID-19 over the last year. I mean, eating is America's pastime right now when we can't do the things that we normally like to do. Last Friday, Food and beverage brought back leisure, energy, and overall good times at the Disneyland Resort. I was there on Friday, I was there on Monday, and it's buzzing, it's feeling so familiar. Not normal, but familiar. What we do know is you will need a ticket for this event. It is a limited ticketed experience, but what we don't know is how much said ticket will cost. But speculation says there's different ways this event could roll out, and each would have a drastic effect on what we will be willing or should be willing to pay for this event. Because we don't know what the ticket will include, and we don't know will the rest of DCA be closed. My speculation says expect a cheaper ticket that includes no food. Or another way this could go down is a more expensive ticket that does include some food. X amount of items that you get with admission. There's the two different ways that it could go. I tend to think, given the current demand and the current financial situations of the corporation, it would be the 1-2 punch. You pay X amount of money to get in, and then you're responsible for what you buy when you get in there. That makes it a more profitable event for them. It is possible that they will section off the food and event section of the park that I've detailed on the map. Yellow is where we're at right now. Red would be the new area that we would be able to go into, having you enter through Grizzly Peak, which gives you plenty of room to have people queued up. Somewhere around San Francisco Street would be where you would get checked for your ticket or wristband. Then that would allow you to go into the rest of the park. Once you get over to the edge of Cars Land and the Blue Cellar, they would inform you, folks, if you go any further, you're officially out of the food festival. They probably wouldn't want to let the looky-loos stuck at the little rope by the Grizzly Peak waterfall see everybody having fun. The amount of FOMO would congest the park, but also routing guests in this way would allow them to have plenty of room for people that are waiting in the line without congesting the footprint of DCA that's already open. Why this would probably result in a slightly cheaper ticket is because they could serve 2 customers at once. They could have the free shoppers and diners over in what we know of DCA currently, and then they could have the ticketed folks in the red zone, and they could be making money in 2 different directions on the same time. But what we do know is it will be offered multiple days a week. Since they are saying that it will be offered multiple days a week, to me that indicates that they could be going with a Disney After Dark template, where just like in the old days of 2019, DCA would be open 7 days a week, but select nights it would shut down early, allowing guests for the Oogie Boogie Halloween Bash, for example, to overtake the park. If they do that, expect a higher ticket item, but also expect a little bit more ambiance, because then they would have the ability to run the entire park for the festival, setting a better mood because they don't have to separate the tier of, well, these people didn't pay and these people did. Also, going hard ticket event for the entire park would allow them better people flow of allowing people into downtown Disney. As you know, it doesn't take much for it to get backed up these days, meaning if you had to show a ticket or if there was a line for ticketed guests, they could get those people into the resort in a fast and efficient manner and have everyone else who doesn't have a ticket just sort of line up to be a part of downtown Disney. It seems like a logistical nightmare to try to service 3 different customers in one night during the age of social distancing. So I am leaning toward a After Dark template. However, there is a valid fight that this method right here might be the best way to do it so they don't lose the revenue of the free shopper and diner. Because one of the things they're really going to have to worry about is the people flow, not only of the event, but the people flow of getting people in and out of the park. So doing a hard ticket event seems to me creates the safest way to create a footprint that can really keep people safe and distance. It also, giving people the entire park for the food festival, would give Disney the ability to sell way more tickets, make it a little bit more profitable, and to make the loading in to the resort at a faster pace. You're going to get angry people if they're waiting in that zigzag parking lot and they've spent a premium on going to a food festival and they feel like they can't get in there. A lot of logistics to figure out on the people flow during these times, especially here in Southern California. Is this going to be a taste of Disneyland? What will they be serving? What we do know is this: focused on our world famous food and beverage offerings from around the resort. What we don't know is exactly the items that will be served, but speculation says expect the Disneyland Resort to double down on this once-in-a-lifetime moment in history to create a spectacular event. When they say offerings from around the resort, that's saying to me that this is a rare moment where they can say, we can serve Dole Whip in DCA. We can bring the beignets over to DCA. I mean, in this moment where there are no regular rules, why not bring some of the famous Disneyland treats into the food festival? Remember the email, the sunsetting annual pass email that Kenny P. Rock sent out that a lot of people got revved up about and got crazy about? Remember when we broke down the details of that, we realized how much was hidden inside of that quick little statement? That taught me a valuable lesson. Kenny P. Rocks is a flirt and a gossip. And around the resort, to me, if I'm reading into this correctly, says, expect some of your favorites to find their way to DCA for this event. Will there be more than food? You bet your stimulus check there will be. What we do know is they will have the latest merchandise. What we don't know is exactly how much or what to expect, but speculation says if we're bringing in food from Adventureland, New Orleans Square, or Star Wars Galaxy's Edge, and if right now we live in a time where the normal rules of storytelling just don't apply, why not place some merchandise from those lands around the food that is native of those lands? I mean, there has to be a warehouse somewhere in Fullerton that is jam-packed with all of the things they ordered in 2019 for 2020, which in the multiverse, 2020 was a record-setting year for attendance and profitability. So you know there are items that are sitting somewhere waiting for their premiere inside of Disneyland. This would be a great opportunity for them to shock people, get the social meter going, and give people the ability to buy a Dole Whip and an item that they haven't seen at World of Disney or the Five and Dime or the Premier Backlot Shop. You know there is merchandise that is waiting to be sold. This could be the perfect event to make a taste of Disneyland. Okay, we've covered food and beverage, merchandise. Now let's put the fest into festival. What we know is unique, carefully crafted entertainment experiences. What we don't know is exactly what kind of entertainment that means. But if we speculate in an intelligent way, let's think about entertainment at DCA. Let's think about what we've seen in the past and apply that to our immediate future. Speculation says, where were the stages of the past in DCA? The actual food and festival path, the performance corridor, it's not wide enough for entertainment offerings. So telling us, Kenny P. Rock's flirting with us, that there's going to be entertainment, says to me, let's point out where we have seen entertainment take place in our past to figure out where some new stages could be popping up. Paradise Gardens, as you know, has a staging area over there where smaller bands have played. They've also been able to use that corridor, that pathway to put on, I think, which is one of the best holiday shows, the Navidad celebration over there. But there's also a stage that they put right on the edge of the water where World of Color takes place every evening. If the World of Color standing area or steps were to become a place where you could grab food and comfortably eat, watching a spinning Mickey fun wheel going around and around while it's illuminated, seeing the lights and hearing the sounds of Pixar Pier across the water, hearing a band perform, that would say that that area could end up being a massive food court where you could go hang out, catch the ambiance, and enjoy your meal at a table, not on a garbage can. Also, if Pixar Pier would be in play, there's the Pixar Pier Promenade, which is a little set of doors that I hope one day go into a Pixar themed dark ride. But there has been a band that performed over there, a great band that would perform over there. If they were to open up those food carts, put some seating on the other side of the pier, that would be where the entertainment would take place. Probably an easy and a no-brainer is Pacific Wharf. If you've been to the hard ticket events, there's a staging area that's right off the lower bridge that goes into the Pacific Wharf area where the bands perform right against the back of the water there. This would be an area that seems to be a no-brainer to reopen because it is a food court, it is designed for seating, and it could also offer some different food options. Give me that Ghirardelli sundae. Woo, I missed that thing. And last but not least, sort of the big land that's in play, will they reopen Cars Land? There has been a stage before that's been erected where Route 66 crosses paths with Cross Street. They have put a stage there before. Putting a stage there would not only be a phenomenal photo op, but it would create a barrier of not having people wander up and try to get too close to Radiator Springs racers. But a big thing to consider here, why this land could be out of play, have they taken down the walls to Avengers Campus on the far end of Cross Street? If they have taken those walls down, this might be out of play. Also, I don't think that there's a lot of people that are going to be trying to get into flows on such an event. I mean, they would because everything feels nostalgic, but that's not exactly food that people like really coveted. And now I just made somebody angry. Everybody, though, would agree with me that Cozy Cones is the food that you want to eat from Radiator Springs. However, the Cozy Cones area is maybe, like the name says, a little too cozy for these social distancing times. That food might be served elsewhere. It'll be interesting to see if Radiator Springs opens. I have drafted up the off-limits section of the park into 3 different areas. Zone 1, that will for sure be open. Zone 2, over into Pixar Pier, it's like, if you're going to open Zone 1, does it really limit you that much to allow people to go over on the other side? But Zone 3, even though it does connect with the Pacific Wharf area, it does feel like it flows very naturally into Zone 1, but there's just kind of a big X factor on, will they give Cars Land? Will they give that much up? And if it is on board, that will be for a higher ticket price. The more zones, the more we should be willing to pay. But following all these different stages gives you an idea of just exactly what the footprint of this event could look like. And what we do know, the hope is guests, once again, will get to step into a magical Disney environment, an environment that will provide memorable and fun experiences our guests are craving. Put me on the list of a guest that is craving this type of event. I will be seriously happy with whatever they offer, whatever they give to us. The pricing for a lot of people during these times is going to be very significant to justify. I mean, I roll solo, but if you got a family of 4, that definitely puts you in the area where you got to think about the budget. But food and beverage returning to the resort has brought back so much energy. I can only imagine how special one of these nights will feel. I believe they're going to follow a Disney After Dark hard ticket event. I believe there will be lots of food, fun merchandise, entertainment, and if they do that hard ticket After Dark style event, there will be just a ambiance throughout everything. The music will shift, the lighting will shift. I believe they'll pull a lot out to truly make this a magical experience. And my advice to them is follow the Taste of Disney idea. People want so much of what you have to offer. Throw it all at this event. Give us food, give us merchandise, give us the songs of different regions. Like, really go all out on making this feel not like a DCA or food festival. Make this feel like a Disneyland festival, and the success and the happiness will be tremendous. Friends, what do you think? What do you think about this announcement? Are you as excited as I am? Are you buying a ticket? You think that I've got this right? I've tried to break down Kenny P. Rock's statement in a very logical way, not getting too ahead of it with my emotions. Some people have gone pretty far off the deep end on this little statement out to the food and beverage union workers. Please let me know below your thoughts. I read all the comments and it helps me shape my content. And while you're there, give this video a thumbs up. And by the way, I'd like to thank my members of Club1313.com for supporting today's video. If you like my content, want to join the club, join us over at Club1313.com. Friends, until the next time I see you, not eating on a garbage can, but sitting back at a table with your mask off, having an unbelievable limited edition dish, maybe a Dole Whip or a beignet inside of DCA. Until the next time I see you doing all of that, I'll see you back here on the channel with more Disney news. Thank you so much for watching.